Ace Podcast.
This is the Super Co-op Squad Video Game Podcast, episode 88. On this week's episode, we'll be talking Fortnite or Call of Duty, who's the top shooter. We'll have our video game spotlight brought to you by myself, and our games, fan faves, trivia, and of course, name the game.
Welcome back to the Super Co-op Squad Video Game Podcast, episode 88. I am your host, Johnny Mack. I'm here with Garrett Laney, co-host.
Hello!
And the other co-host, Joshua Gerard.
Bang, bang.
But you've done that several times. What is that from?
It's the first time hearing of it. Oh, no, it's Luigi. Bang, bang.
Oh, that's what he's doing.
No, he looks like that's not
Were you saying that to me or
Yeah,
to
you.
Garrett?
No, to Joshua.
I thought you were talking about Garrett because he's like, hello.
No, you've used bang, bang a few times. I'm like, what is that from?
I don't say it like Luigi. We go, bang, bang.
Yeah, that would have given it away for me.
Yeah.
So we are the Super Co-op Squad. We love games. Every week we sit down together, as friends do. We just chat about games, pop culture, everything nerdy. We have a lot of fun with it. Give our opinions, talk some trash, have a good time, and hopefully you have a good time joining in with us. Before we get started on our actual content, this is the Garrett's Not Ready.
Yep.
Terrible spoiler of the week.
I'm laughing already. He rolled his eyes when he saw it coming.
Yep, I saw it coming. Well, I didn't see it coming, that's the problem. Alright. Spoiler. Time to look around the studio here.
Yeah, we've upgraded. We've upgraded our name.
Turns out, in Dragon Ball Z, the standard power for a man with a shotgun is 2.
It's not saying much for a shotgun, man.
Or the man.
Yeah, or the man, yeah. Jeez.
I wonder, is a shotgun 2 and the man 0?
No, it's a combination. It's them combined.
Like if the shotgun were just on the floor by itself, would it be 1? Or has no ability to fire itself?
Does it have a power level if it can't move or do anything itself?
An inanimate object?
Is the man just a naked, statless man like in Dark Souls and you pick up that one item?
Who knows? Well, that is a terrible spoiler of the week. For the real spoilers, make sure you guys check our show notes on scspodcast.com. There you can look at what we're talking about and skip past anything you don't want to discuss. All right. As always, we do best and worst news of the week. Each of the hosts are going to go ahead and briefly talk about what they felt the best news and the worst news from this previous week was. Who wants to start?
Are we always doing worst first?
Worst first.
Worst first. Well, I guess since nobody wanted to...
You literally spoke out.
Yes, I did. So, my worst news... there wasn't a lot of bad news in my opinion, but one thing that did happen was the whole Movie Pass ordeal.
That was mine as well.
That is... Remember before we started, I said I wanted to change my worst, but I couldn't remember what it was. This is it.
So this was your original and you were going to change it, or you're going to change it to this?
I was going to change it to this.
And you said it was highly unlikely we were going to have the same one.
Well, because I didn't remember that, and I was going to go with the one I'd written down.
So go ahead and break down what's going on here, Joshua.
All right. So Movie Pass, as most people know, you subscribe to Movie Pass, you get pretty much like a debit card. You go to a movie theater, you use that card to pay for your ticket, and you get one movie a day, or have they? I don't know if they've announced, or I'm sorry.
So I've had the server. Let me help you out here. So you get the debit card, like you said, you pay $10 a month, and within a 24-hour period, essentially, or from day to day. So from the 24th to 25th, you can watch one movie on one day, and then when the date changes, you can watch another movie at a theater, participating theater, for free, essentially, on that day. So you pretty much can watch a movie every day at a movie theater, and about 85 to 95% of the movie theaters in America do participate with Movie Pass.
Yeah, where I got caught up is I remember them announcing a premium pass where you could see multiple movies in the day. My question was, did they unveil that?
They've done that, but it doesn't matter for the sake of this.
So somehow, some way, somebody didn't pay their debts and owed some money to some people, and for 4 days, was it 4 days officially?
I mean, it's still ongoing from what I understand.
So they haven't fixed the issue yet. For at least a couple days, movie pass goers have not been able to use their cards because their they're disconnected.
Yeah. So subscribers are literally going up to theaters attempting to use their card, and the card is being declined. Essentially, MoviePass is failing to pay its debtors and its collectors the money that is owed, and thus their service for those cards is being denied, which is causing obviously widespread anger and concern for people who are paying for this service and not being able to use it. It's a damn bad situation.
I mean, if I remember correctly, didn't they have to take out some sort of loan or something?
Yep.
They have been having consistent issues with their funds.
Yeah, I think they borrowed, looking at it right now, $6.2 million from Hudson Bay. $5 million of it is in cash. And there's a quote from that it says, if the company is unable to make required payments to its merchants and fulfillment processors, the merchant and fulfillment processors may cease processing payments for MoviePass Inc.
So what that means is they are literally not able to pay MasterCard the bill for all the movies that people are watching.
And you wonder why the deal was so good. I mean, it was $10 for this $10 a month,
right?
And to me, I'm like, how are they making money exactly?
Yeah, I mean, it is a problem. I think the thing is that they were making they hope to make money the way that 24-hour fitness makes money, where the beginning of the year comes, everybody gets a 24-hour fitness membership for $30 a month, and then they go 4 times, and every month 24-hour fitness is charging them $30, but they're not actually giving anyone the service. So what they're hoping is, someone goes to 1 movie or 2 movies in a month and then doesn't come back.
And like forgets that they have it or something like that.
Or there's no more movies they want to watch. And that works if you're charging someone $35 a month. Because if I only watch 2 movies, well, they're winning because they charge me more than the movies cost. Yeah. But at this rate, like literally one movie, they're already down.
So an interesting turn of events. I don't know if you guys have heard. I'm sure you have. There was not a miscommunication. There was a back and forth between MoviePass and AMC. Are we going to support MoviePass or not? They decided not to. Then they decided to. Well, AMC has decided to come with their own subscription plan.
Yep, I read that.
Of the AMC Stubs A-List. This is $19.95 a month, and I believe you can only see 4 movies a month or something like that. It's much more limited. And when they came out with this news, people are laughing and like, oh, why would I do that? It's MoviePass offers blank for whatever. Well, MoviePass can only offer that for so long.
Right.
So if AMC's, I mean, theirs is more pricey, and there's a limit to how many movies you can see. That seems to be able to, they can mitigate their losses with that, I think. And that might be the only option between, AMC and MoviePass.
Yeah. You're right. There definitely are some things. First of all, obviously the price being double, and then only being able to watch at AMC's. But there's a lot of pluses to the AMC one that I think people are overlooking. First, right off the bat, I can actually reserve my seats using their AMC pass. From my home. I don't have to go to the theater like you do with MoviePass.
And then pick a seat when you're there and hope for the best.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, what people were doing, let's say if I wanted to go watch a movie tomorrow or whenever the movie is, I just go to the theater and I buy the ticket that day and I just set the date for the movie I want to watch and pick my seat for 5 days from now or 8 or whatever it happens to be. Not a problem other than having to drive my booty to the theater. That's just an inconvenience for most people they don't want to deal with. And with AMC's Stub Pass or whatever it is, you could do it from your home like you're supposed to be able to do.
Yeah, I am a Stubs member. It was, now that I think about it, it's $15 for a year. And that gets you I got it really just for the bonus points. And, every like $10 I spend, I get $5 back or something like that. But with this, now I don't know, did MoviePass have like a limit? Were you able to see new releases the opening weekend? Were you able to see 3D movies and all that kind of stuff? Okay. So.
You could see new movies, but you could not always watch like a 3D movie or an IMAX just because it's a price structure built in. So if your card gets activated for the movie, you have X amount of dollars, and it's based upon I guess, the average ticket price of tickets in your area.
Okay.
So if that ticket price is $12 and it costs $17 for IMAX, well, you cannot use MoviePass. It'll decline the card.
Makes sense. I believe the AMC A-list allows that. It allows you to be able to see IMAX, 3D, all that kind of stuff, because you're going with AMC. So another benefit. I think I might actually think about picking up the A-list.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's 4 times a month, AMC's probably not crying over that because they make most of their money probably in concessions anyway.
There's no probably. They absolutely do. That is where every movie theater makes their money, which is why I always thought it was funny that they were fighting so hard against MoviePass. They're really not losing anything at all, because even though MoviePass is only charging us $10, every time someone swipes that card at the theater, AMC is still getting paid whatever the price of the ticket is for every swipe, which is why MoviePass is in this problem right now. The thing that I want to look at, though, as much as we can laugh at MoviePass, and this is sad, like, I feel so bad. My mother and father-in-law actually today mentioned the fact that they would try to go watch a movie and they could not use their MoviePass. It sucked. But keep in mind, people, that without MoviePass, AMC and also Cinemark, because they have their own at Cinemark as well, would have never got here. We would have never had this offering from AMC for the stub pass if MoviePass wouldn't have been here first.
That's a very good point. With competition breeds, benefits.
Yes.
Either way. So, this is why we don't have monopolies.
Yes.
This is exactly why.
So thank you, MoviePass. Even if you fail, which it seems like you're going to, thank you for bringing this type of culture to movie-going experiences, because now we have it. And AMC can't pull it back now. If they pulled it back now, they would lose all the goodwill that they've garnered, and people would go back to MoviePass or some other company in its stead.
This reminds me of a real quick meme of it's like a possum. A possum broke into a donut shop or something like that, snuck into a dozen donut box, ate everything inside, and then someone opens the box and sees the possum there, just stomach full, can't move, and the caption says, "Go ahead. Do what you must. I've already won." So here's MoviePass just sitting in that box. Yeah. Go ahead. Take me out.
Yeah.
I've already won.
The common man has their win. We have it. Like, we found a way to watch movies cheaper. So, cool. Well, that's worst of the week. Nice, easy vote there.
Yeah, so you're sticking with this one?
Yeah. Okay. MoviePass was the one I wanted.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
See?
All right.
Never doubt it.
Time for best news of the week. Best of the week. What do you got, Joshua?
All right. So it may or may not be the same, but
MoviePass?
It will not be the same at all. I know mine's a deep cut.
Oh, okay.
Mine's even deeper.
Okay.
Oh, then no. I actually like the news that came about with Star Wars, that they're actually going to be honoring Carrie Fisher, and she's going to be, it's confirmed she's in episode 9 now, but they're using unused footage from episode 7 to place her in episode 9, and they got permission from her daughter.
That's the most important thing to me, anyway, is that they get permission from the family.
Yeah, because that's one thing that you were talking about when we talked about it. When she passed last year, is what is the next step? This is before episode 8 came out. What's going to happen? What's it going to look like? What is the reaction going to be? Which
is why for that first 20 minutes, I'm like, oh, okay, this is how they're going to get Carrie Fisher out the movie.
And J.J. Abrams don't do the shortcut. Garrett. And, the directors, they found a way to integrate her into this movie more probably for fan service and respect rather than just cut her out in a screen crawl or something. Hey, 6 months has passed and, Leia passed away for whatever.
On leave or something like that,
Yeah. Another ship blew up. I don't know.
I'm of mixed thoughts here. Like, it is really cool. I'm happy that she's in it. But I remember very, very specifically when this happened, there were all kinds of press statements and releases from Disney stating that they would not use her going forward, and they've gone back on that. And I knew they were going to do that, but I just don't like that in that moment during her passing, they made it seem like they were not going to utilize her and honor her memory. And now they're going the flip side and they're saying they're going to utilize her in honor of her memory. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, they made the first statement to appease to the fact that she passed, which is very sad. It is very true. But now that kind of has waned away, you're flipping it and you're going, oh, we're going to use her in honor of her. And we do have the clearance to do you should only move forward if you have that goodwill, thumbs up, yes, go ahead for my mother from, her family, whoever that might be. It is her daughter, but whoever it would have been. But I just don't like the fact that they jump back and forth. That just kind of bothers me.
I see what you're saying. It does look like you're saying one thing to please people in that moment, and then after things blown off, you're flipping it to still kind of be on top and still be the good guy.
Yes.
It could be though that things have changed, the mood change in both the studios and with the family, and maybe the family is like, I don't know, maybe we do want her a part of it. We don't know. We weren't behind those closed doors or anything like that. True. But looking outside or looking inside from the outside, I can see how you come to that conclusion.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So my best news of the week is crap. I can't think of his name right now.
This is a deep cut.
Yeah.
James Gunn.
No.
J.J. Abrams.
Don't you have to do it.
Chris Hardwick is being placed back into his shows, The Talking Dead, and several other shows that he had with AMC after he had reports that were kind of false regarding him abusing, I don't know if it's sexual or not, but just some sort of abuse to his longtime girlfriend. They investigated it extremely thoroughly, and AMC came to the conclusion that he had done nothing wrong, or at least enough that enough was done not wrong that they could put him back on his shows. And I really, really, really like that AMC did that, because, I mean, as much as it is a problem for sexual abuse running rampant in Hollywood or any kind of abuse, it's kind of a witch hunt where people, you do something wrong, get out of here. You're done. You're out of Hollywood. Bye. And not every one of those people actually did something wrong.
Yeah.
There are some people, I'm sure a lot of them did, but I'm sure there's a few in there who are like, man, what did I do? Like, they just got thrown under the rug. And it's strong of AMC to say, you know what? He didn't do anything. That's on us. Come on back. We're bringing you back on your shows.
Yeah, definitely. You don't see many companies take that kind of high road, that use that kind of clarity.
Yeah,
definitely.
I didn't know that was the reason why he was pulled off, like Talking Dead or so how does that look? Where it's like, hey, we found who's going to be replacing you, and now it's like, well, sorry, we're gonna bring the original person back.
I mean, it sucked, but I mean, you only got an opportunity because someone else was falsely accused. So, I mean, you can't be mad at them for getting their job back. Like, they didn't do anything.
Yeah. Do you get a cut, or you just never were officially hired because you didn't start on day one?
I don't know. Terrence Howard didn't get a cut for Iron Man 2.
Well, he for sure tried to get more money.
Yeah, well, that's his fault for turning down the role.
Yep. All right, cool. That's mine.
Okay, so my best is, it's only a deep cut because I don't know if there's that many fans of this. Funko is releasing a Knight Rider Funko Pop with Kit and Michael Knight riding on top.
Not the Jeff Goldblum, lying down all injured with his flashy hair.
No, not that one. Okay. No, not Knight Rider with talking car Kit.
Oh no, I know. Is it going to be David Hasselhoff? Is it going to be like big size pops where they're like the big boxes?
It's one of those ones that comes with a like the vehicle. So yeah, it will be a big box, not like oversized, like
not like the Giants.
What are some of their bigger ones, I guess? No, yeah, not like the Giants, but any of those ones that have like a vehicle. There's the
Ghostbusters, Batman.
Yeah, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Batman, definitely.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Knight Rider. Loved Kit. Kit was so cool, and so I'm very happy that they're going out with this, and I would like to buy one.
Cool.
Better put it in pre-order.
I might have to, actually, because all the Gargoyle Pops, can't find them.
Watch it be some type of exclusive to some event or store where you can't get it unless you go.
I would think they would do that if like the LED lights flash back and forth. Like, okay, yeah. That would be at like a San Diego Comic-Con or something.
Yep.
So that's my best.
All right, cool. Let's get our votes in.
I vote Johnny. Nothing against Knight Rider, because Knight Rider's cool.
Damn you both. I don't care about Garrett's thing, but I'm of mixed feelings on Joshua's thing. I don't want to give either of you a vote.
Well, you can't vote yourself, and that's not how the rules work, so you gotta vote.
I vote.
Theme now. You gotta do the theme.
I vote Garrett's thing. If you don't stop, I'm gonna vote Joshua's. No, I vote Garrett's thing. I mean, pops are cool, and it's always nice when, even though I don't care about Knight Rider, that you get you get the pops that you want. Cause I know there's so many franchises. I just been waiting for a couple pops to come out.
I know exactly what you mean. There's definitely those kind of series I'm not a big fan, but I'm glad that you, who are a big fan, you get something out of this. I'm happy for you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I vote. I vote for the Carrie Fisher thing.
Dang it!
The Star Wars. I think it's good that they have worked with the family and they're able to still have Princess Leia fulfill her role, whatever that may be, whether she passes away in episode 9, whether she kind of Paul Walkers it and gets sent off, to the other part of a galaxy, or, what have you. I'm interested to see how that plays out.
All right. Well, we're once again deadlocked, a tie. This happens a lot.
We've had more ties than not.
Yeah, it's happened a bunch. Well, either way, though, that's best and worst news of the week. All right, guys, it's time for fan favorites. Every week, we pick 3 rapid-fire questions, and each host answers to find where they stand opposed and united in fandom. So play along. Find out just where you stand in fan favorites. Garrett, your week. What you got for us, bro?
It was my week. You remember the Macho Man and the Macho Men? Oh, yeah. Of the 80s and 90s. Cybernetic men, world-class boxers, or even everyday cops. Who would win in a fight between these radical dudes? This is Fan Faves, baddest of the badasses.
I choose Johnny.
Okay, okay. Well, question number 1. John McClane or Rocky Balboa?
Remind me who John McClane is.
John McClane is Die Hard. Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah. Rocky Balboa.
Rocky.
I'm going to go Rocky. Number 2. Rambo or the Terminator? Terminator. And last, Judge Dredd or RoboCop? Dredd.
Funny you had, let's break these down. It's funny.
Yeah, same person.
In each one?
Yeah.
No, all 3. All 3 of Sylvester Stallone has been in.
Yeah, that's probably interesting there. All right, first one.
So first up, John McClane and Rocky Balboa.
I mean, I guess it depends on what's going on.
It's definitely not just a fist fight. It's the character that you've seen use all their wits and all their kind of strategies, shoot the glass, all that kind of stuff. It can all be used. This is like a street fight. It's not straight up boxing, but boxers kind of legally can't fight because their weapons are
their hands are considered deadly weapons.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you get punched in the face by a professional boxer, it's the same thing as him shooting a gun at you. He could go to prison the exact same way.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I still pick Rocky just because, I mean, if he does get a couple punches in, he's going to drop McClane. He's going to drop him.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I don't think, as badass as John McClane is, you go in toe to toe with Rocky.
Yeah, and inevitably, once you do scrap with him, he is going to brutalize you.
Brutality.
He's going to put you in a corner. You're not going to be able to get out.
Yeah. I mean, there's no corner. Just one solid punch to the jaw.
2 hits. He hits you. You hit the ground. Okay, so moving on. We have Rambo or the Terminator.
I was thinking about it, and I was like, Rambo's probably got a lot more bullets just because of 80s movies. But Terminator
Infinite.
Could probably take all those bullets and keep walking.
Yeah, there's very few pop culture characters who I think could take out the Terminator. I mean,
Sarah Connor.
Actually, she couldn't though.
She kind of did. She outsmarted it.
She kind of didn't though. In which movie?
Well, the very first one, it gets
crushed.
Crushed, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She outsmarted it.
I think she got lucky. I think she was running for her life and just so happened to go through the compactor and was able to, crush him before he got out.
And he almost got out.
Yeah. A couple seconds more, she's done.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, not too many people could probably go toe to toe with the Terminator.
No, definitely not Rambo. Not Rambo.
Yeah. Not for all the same reasons.
Cool.
Pick that one.
Cut and dry.
Yeah. Not much to say about that.
No.
Sorry about that, Sly.
Yeah, man, you got one win.
You won one, you lost one. Let's see if you win. Well, actually, you already did.
Yeah,
we already decided. Anyway, number 3, Judge Dredd, I am the law. Or RoboCop, dead or alive, you're coming with me.
No, I'm not.
Uh,
Dredd would win. Yeah. Plus, just the different types of ammunition he has, depending on which movie you watched. It's just he's more driven because it's straight law, not okay. I'm kind of human. What's right versus what's wrong? It's just, I have a job to do. You are coming with me.
So the weird thing about both of them is that one of them is like programmed to follow the law by the book. You know, the other one's RoboCop. No, I'm kidding. But they both are so like law driven by the book. Like Judge Dredd, he is all about justice, like straight up. So if these two got in a fight, and it's like it's weird. One of them is like their own morals and their own justice. The other one is just, yeah, he was a cop, but now he's programmed to have morals. And then also you can't shoot anyone who's in a certain company.
I think RoboCop just isn't versatile. Like, he can't really move. He can't run. Like, he has one kind of gun. Like, he's just not.
It's a cool gun.
His gun is freaking cool.
It's not Lawbringer cool, but
no. But the man wielding that gun is just terrible. And like, even like in the beginning of the movie, he's just a bullet sponge. In the middle of the movie, he's a bullet sponge. At the end of the movie, like, all he does is take punishment. He doesn't really do anything badass. Like, what does RoboCop do that you can think, man, that one scene, he was so cool? Not never. You ain't never thought that in your life.
When you saw his actual face.
No.
He never does.
Like I mentioned, I watched RoboCop maybe a couple weeks ago, and that movie does not hold up as well as you would think. I need to watch the new one and see how that goes with, you know, the new age RoboCop. But definitely Judge Dredd, as you said, Joshua, having all those ammunition types, and for me, just his sense of morals and his sense of, like, he's doing justice. Like, you're not gonna stop him from doing justice.
He's giving justice to him.
Judge and executioner.
Cool.
And that's fan faves.
Awesome. That was a pretty good one.
Two for Sly.
Yeah. 2 out of 3, buddy. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Now,
there's only one Sly.
what would be a good fan favorites now I'm thinking about would be who'd win in a fight, the originals or the remakes of characters in movies.
Well, that'll be your next
like,
one.
would Christian Bale Batman win against like
Michael Keaton or no.
I mean, take a pick.
George Clooney.
No, hold on. Ben Affleck.
Or Michael Keaton. Yeah, anyone. Like, you know, I don't know.
Gotcha.
I think Ben Affleck would break him down.
Well, we'll save that for another fan faves.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Can't use that one anymore.
Yep. All right. All right. So this week's main topic, Fortnite or Call of Duty. Call of Duty is coming, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, the main one, the one that most people really like at this point. It's got the uber success behind it. But a new challenger has taken the throne. That's Fortnite, and Fortnite's popularity over the last 368 days or so, as it just had its birthday, I think 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
Fortnite has taken over in the last year. It has had more concurrent users or players than almost any game in the last 2 or 3 years. It has built up over $1 billion in sales in just 1 year of being out alone. And it's garnered, I don't know how many clones of itself. Now, of course, we all know PUBG began this battle royale kind of genre, but Fortnite is the one that has immortalized it. And from them, there have been many, many games making battle royale, including Call of Duty.
Realm Royale. Have you guys heard about that one?
I haven't.
You fight somebody, and after you kill them, they turn into a chicken. And then for whatever reason, they can still run around and jump and try to run from you, but you're a chicken.
Same Mario Kart.
Whatever gets you money, man. I guess if that's the new thing.
But it doesn't. It doesn't get the money.
No, it doesn't. And then, of course, Call of Duty is bringing its own battle royale mode to Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So the question is, and I'll go ahead and give you props on this, Caleb. You're the one that kind of gave me this idea to begin with. Which one will take the throne for 2018? Will Fortnite continue its run of dominance? Call of Duty bring back its 12-year throne?
Well, how are we, I suppose, ranking that? Are we ranking it by sales? Are we ranking it by money made? Are we ranking it by just hype and popularity?
I think a little bit of both, hype and popularity. The amount of people that are currently playing it. If Call of Duty's success lowers the amount of people playing Fortnite. And then of course the DLC and how that's going to affect everything. Will Call of Duty have the same success with weapons and skins and those sorts of things the way Fortnite did?
Well, there's something I want to look at that you had just mentioned. Will people buying Call of Duty drop off from Fortnite? I don't think necessarily they're the same. I think that because these are two different types of games, these are two different communities that I think we're dealing with. Sure, there's going to be those people that play both, that mesh in. Some people are playing Fortnite until Call of Duty comes out, that kind of thing.
Right.
But I definitely think that because of the genres of these games, they're different communities. So with that being said, I don't think the release of Call of Duty will have a negative impact on Fortnite, at least not to a marginal degree.
Call of Duty is not going to outclass Fortnite. And I will tell you my opinions why. First of all, you don't have Call of Duty Black Ops on a handheld device such as an iPad or a tablet. So you're still going to have people that can play Fortnite on a non-console, so to speak. Secondly, when's the last time you heard a game make $1 billion in a year? Like an actual console game. I mean, the closest thing is maybe Grand Theft Auto 5 as far as like high revenue because of microtransactions and things you can do.
And that took 6 years.
Well, that was to be the highest grossing piece of media ever. But I don't think Call of Duty is going to sit here and make $500 million in the next year, where Fortnite has already made over $1 billion in the last year. And then Fortnite has a lot more customizable options where you can customize your character and you can create maps. And people are making up maps where you can pretend like you're playing Mario Kart and Rainbow Road and stuff like that. Right now, you can't really do that in Call of Duty. So it takes away the customization, the creative aspect to invite your friends to play. Look at what I did. You have a playground. And in Call of Duty, you don't really have a playground you created. You have a playground that somebody made for you. And it's more high end as far as quality, and it'll definitely make its money, but it's going to pale in comparison to what people like about Fortnite being different from everybody else.
Yeah, I think you guys both make some really good points here. I think I tend to lean towards Fortnite really keeping the crown, but also as you stated, Garrett, I think they partially are two different communities. So they may not have a lot of crossover or overlap, but it's tough to say because last year when Call of Duty came out with Call of Duty?
Infinite Warfare.
No, that was 2 years ago. Jeez. So, Call of Duty World War I or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That really splintered their community. People were not that interested in that game. It didn't have the same appeal that Black Ops or Infinite Warfare, there we go.
Infinity War.
Or Modern Warfare does. So they really gave Fortnite an opportunity to slide in because nobody was playing Call of Duty the way they were on their other games.
It really seems like, just a quick interjection, that this has been the year for Fortnite. I mean, with the beginning of PUBG giving it its free publicity with, Thanos showing up in Fortnite to Fortnite coming out when Call of Duty was at, maybe they still made their money, but at one of their lower points. It seems like the gaming universe, if you will, has kind of perfectly set when Fortnite should have been released and when it should have came out.
The meteors have aligned.
See what you did there?
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right, but also I think that's a byproduct of Epic really like having their nose to the grindstone on what's important for their community. And I think in that way, they'll definitely beat Call of Duty because they're not very responsive as a team towards what their fans want, what their player base is asking for, whether that's, tweaks to a map or tweaks to weapons or balancing issues. They just aren't quick to respond.
I definitely think it's a hard thing for Call of Duty when you have 3 separate studios working on the game. You would think that, Infinity Ward is making blank years Call of Duty. Okay, so you would think that the players would share their concerns with Infinity Ward and Infinity Ward would do something about it. I don't know if that's necessarily how it goes because they're all under Activision and Activision's putting their resources towards next year's Call of Duty already. So it's it's probably difficult for Infinity War, as much as they may want to address issues and concerns. They don't have the resources to, or they might not have the resources to.
It's fair.
I like your point right there, because if you look at, say, Infinity War, and you're like, I want to improve upon this game, I want to take player feedback, and then I want to essentially enhance this game. If everybody knows that a new Call of Duty game is coming out 4 months from now, and a lot of your fan base is going to jump off your game to go to the next Call of Duty game, why put in all the extra time and effort if more than probably half your fan base or half the players are going to extend themselves to the other game? You don't know that for sure, but looking at kind of the numbers, like everybody jumps to the next game, and if they don't like it, then they jump back. Another good point is community feedback, where you look at games like Fortnite, games like Overwatch, games, Blizzard, even with World of Warcraft, where you're consistently pushing out content, but taking in feedback, making changes. We're, was it season 5 now, I think, of Fortnite? It's been 1 year and they have 5 seasons. I don't know how that works. But they're consistently adding content and updating content to make it more user-friendly, player-friendly, and they use that feedback. I mean, we had, Infinity War came out, and then you had this crazy Thanos gameplay, which was broken as hell, but it made it so much fun to play. And it allows players to really jump in and join on the fun. And just for the game to start out as a free game where you're not forced to spend money just to try the game. And this is one of those rare instances, I believe, where this game caught a very small audience, a niche, if you will, and it expanded and grew. And then with free publicity, it grew even more. And then it just attracted all these people. And now you just can't stop playing it, to the point where you have Ninja over here inviting Drake. And that just blew up the popularity even more. So it only takes one little spark to really ignite. And this game actually did it, where Call of Duty is just known for its brand. And I think people just got really tired of Call of Duty being the same thing over and over, which is why they had all the changes, which is why people didn't like it, because it's not its core. They don't know what their identity is. We go to the past, we go to the future, we go to the mid-range, then we go to the past, and are we going to go back to the future again? Like, where?
So I think the one thing that Call of Duty has going for it that, and there are other games as well that fit in this category, but that Fortnite is really lacking is competitiveness. There really honestly can't be a competitive scene for this type of game. There's so much based on luck. There's so much based on just general, I don't know what you call it, have a good timeness, that you really can't compete. Like, you can't have a competition in this game the way you can in Overwatch or in Team Fortress or even in PUBG, just because the controls, the dynamics of the game are so much more.
I see what you're saying. I do disagree. I think as far as this goes, Fortnite being a battle royale game is pure competitive. It's you against the game. It's you against the server. Every single person you run into is another player. And it's definitely by luck. It's definitely, did you open up the right chest? Have you cut enough wood to build your walls and all that kind of stuff? There's still definitely strategy, but I think even with a random element, you can still have competitiveness. It's not that kind of core where everything's based solely off skill. You still need to be able to work your way around. You need to find a good position. If you can kill someone that has better equipment than you loot them. Now you have that equipment.
Right.
It's definitely still competitive.
Okay. I mean, that's definitely an opinion. I don't know if I agree, just because so much randomness just makes it so that it's difficult to really quantify like who is the best. I mean, for instance, this is a prime reason why Super Smash Brothers in that community, they don't use items. They don't use Smash Balls. It takes away from the strategy of how good are you as a player at this game. If you've got those things included, if a Pokeball and Smash Brothers drops right next to you, you get, I don't know, whoever.
Celebi.
Lugia.
Yeah, Lugia or Snorlax that takes up half the screen. Like, well,
Onyx.
I mean, yeah, you just got lucky, man. Like, you got a Pokeball and I didn't. Like, I don't know what else I could do. Like, and I think you're right that it doesn't completely take away skill, but I think it lessens it. And I think just for that instance, you're right. You're right that they still could have a competitive scene, but I think it'd always be below an Overwatch or below a Call of Duty. And I think a lot of players, for as many players as there are that enjoy Fortnite and the kind of the zaniness of it, there are equally, if not more, players who really want to see competitive gameplay. And Call of Duty offers that, and I don't think Fortnite can at the same level.
They could. All they have to do is add a different game mode.
That'd be completely against the design of. If they did that, I think that would actually hurt them. If they tried to make like a
standardized,
exactly a standard competitive shooter, that would definitely hurt their appeal. I think.
There's nothing wrong with options. I think you can add it to the game still, and let the players decide if they like it or not. You definitely don't make it the mandatory, the new mode. Yeah. Season 6, we stripped away everything. Good luck.
Yeah, I see. I could see that. The next question I have, is Call of Duty is a game where you got to pay $60. It's standard, right? Fortnite is the free option, and you could argue what's free, what's not, but essentially you could load up the gameplay, don't got to pay a penny. And they made $1 billion. Like, there's not a question. That's what they've made this year or are going to, and they're projected to make more next year, which is far surpassing how much money pretty much any other Call of Duty game has made on its own. Does Call of Duty adopt that method, or do they stay stalwart where they're at? Like, what can Call of Duty do?
You said duty.
What can they do to compete with that sort of business model? Because ultimately, you're always going to have more people playing Fortnite right off the bat because it's free than a game you got to buy into.
I think they already did it by taking their own form of a battle royale mode, because that's the new hotness. So you attract players that like that mode, and you put that mode in your game. I mean, people still buy Call of Duty for zombies, because that's the big what's the word I'm looking for? The killer app, I guess you could say, when it comes to Call of Duty. Most people just skip the campaign for competitiveness or for zombies, and that's all they play.
Unfortunately, to play the Call of Duty Battle Royale, you still have to buy Call of Duty, a full $60 game.
Yeah. And I don't think them going free to play or saying, hey, here's $10 plus this game mode, and then now you have all this microtransactions. I mean, microtransactions already have a bad rap on consoles, just in general. Even if you make it all skins like Overwatch, like, people aren't going head over heels buying loot boxes for it.
Well, I just want to point out for microtransactions, for me, it makes a big damn difference if a game is free and has microtransactions versus if a game makes me pay $60 and a season pass and have microtransactions. Like, if I already bought my way into the game, then don't do that to me. If it's a free game, I mean, okay, you got to make your money somehow. And if I don't have to buy this, but you didn't charge me anything. So I can be more forgiving, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can totally see where you're coming from there. But then you look at production value and how much money they put into a AAA product. Are they willing to say, you know what, we're going to just charge you $10 for this AAA quality high-end game, and then hope to earn all that revenue based on loyalty or based on fun factor or whatever we put in this game?
I mean, I see your point, but Fortnite's doing it. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, but they're not. I don't think they're spending all the same exact time and resources in Fortnite as they do a Call of Duty game.
I mean, it's tough to say Call of Duty now has dropped what most people consider to be the biggest thing that they spent money on, which was campaign. Campaign's not there anymore. So, I mean, that production value, a lot of that goes out the window.
I think for Call of Duty to, I don't know if I can even say remain on top, to be on top is, they would have to adopt Battle Royale, but not the way that they're doing it now, not putting it into a mode that they already have for another game. They would have to completely change the formula of Call of Duty. They would have to come out with something so brand new and so different that it would shock their fan base. Whether that be make a free version of Call of Royale or whatever, that's Call of Battle.
But if it's a mobile game, you wouldn't play it.
I'm not gonna play it either way. But I never said mobile game.
He didn't say mobile. He just meant like change up their format. I think it'd actually be huge if they would just make their battle royale mode free, and the rest of the game, the whole rest of the competitive scene, all the rest of that stuff, put it in the regular game. If they made battle royale free, they would definitely take Fortnite down a peg.
The rest of you guys, you got to pay the normal money.
Yep. So the last thing I have here is Call of Duty has always been the innovator, right? Like, when they came out, they had fast-paced, real tight controls, real tight combat, realistic boots in the ground, great maps, and other games, other franchises looked to emulate them, looked to imitate. Then they had their zombie mode. Zombie mode came, and then everybody had a zombie mode. Everyone was trying to incorporate that. They added like flight packs and different things like that. All of a sudden, other games have flight packs and you're running on walls and things of that nature. And this is the first time I think for any shooter, third person or first person, that Call of Duty is emulating someone else. They're taking someone else's idea that they never thought of or thought to implement in their game and going forward with that. Does that spell maybe the beginning of the end as them as the leaders of the shooter genre?
I don't know. I think I would disagree with that, because I think the zombies portion was not their original idea. I think they took heavy that's what I'm looking for. Inspiration. Or that. from like Left 4 Dead, for sure. It is still different. There are definitely differences between the two modes, but I think when Left 4 Dead came out and kind of showed you this kind of co-op experience of you and 3 buddies against zombies, they adopted that, and they put their own spin to it. It's definitely, as a matter of fact, that kind of has an aspect of Battle Royale where there's a randomness to it of the weapons that you get and the score multipliers and power-ups and whatnot. But it's something that they've done before, and I think it's not below them to do it again.
Fair?
Yeah, I think when you have 3 different development studios, you have more heads and more brains to come up with ideas, but after making almost 15 years of just Call of Duty altogether, there's definitely some type of fatigue. They had to branch out into multiple studios because they're trying to push out a game a year. And then when you're doing that, you're talking about 2 or 3 year cycles where you don't maybe get the best out of what you want to make in a game. So you have to shoot up ideas and get them probably a lot quicker than you probably would have in a 5 or 6 year game cycle. You look at Guerrilla, they're not pumping out games every 2 years. They're pumping out games every 4 to 5 years. You had Killzone at PS4's launch, and then 4 years later, 5 years later, you have Horizon. So when you're doing that with Call of Duty, I think you do get burnt out. And now it's like, okay, what else can we come up with? How come we didn't think of that before? And you're just leeching off of somebody else. And that's what a lot of games have done. They've taken great ideas from what someone else has done, and they've converted it into their own. Look what Gears of War did for third-person cover and shooters. It changed everything on how you how you mount and get over walls and go into cover. So it's not a bad idea as long as what Garrett said, you make it your own, you make it completely different where it wraps around your franchise, not just a mimic of someone else's.
Cool. I think that this is the beginning of the end for them. I think I see your point, Garrett, and yes, they did kind of, I guess that you could reference Left 4 Dead as kind of that starting point for their zombie mode. There's a lot of similarities. I think it's different enough where it not necessarily a stretch, but one couldn't say completely without a doubt they took it from them, but there's a lot like it. But even with that, even if I did say, yeah, they definitely took that and imitated Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead didn't have the critical success that, or financial success that Fortnite has. So, yeah, they took a great idea maybe and put it in their own game, and then they made that thing much bigger than Left 4 Dead has ever been. I don't know if they can say the same thing coming up for Fortnite. I don't know if they're going to be able to say their Battle Royale is going to put them on the map bigger than what Fortnite made Battle Royale.
No, because I think...
And that's my point, though. If it doesn't, that means that someone's doing something in the shooter genre better than they could.
Yeah, it's bound to happen. Fortnite is so big, how can you eclipse that? It's that big.
Yeah, that's definitely where they're at. And so I think that's the beginning of people taking down Call of Duty. That's what it's going to take. Yeah,
we talked about it with Disney and, the Marvel films, it completely eclipsed every other superhero film that could happen. So, at what point in time does that just fall off the map? And Call of Duty has had a very long reign, and they're about to give up the crown.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that's what we have on Call of Duty vs. Fortnite. What are your thoughts? Are you looking forward to Call of Duty Black Ops 4? Nope. Or are you sticking with Fortnite and the Battle Royale that started it all?
Yeah.
Sorry, PUBG. I didn't mean to slight you like that.
Yep.
Give us your thoughts, guys. Reach us at contact@scspodcast.net or reach us on Twitter @SuperCoopSquad. It's time for Gamer Trivia, guys. Every week, Two hosts go head to head in a best of 3 trivia contest. The winner plays again next week with the W in their belt. The loser's a loser. So go home, loser.
Hey!
Play along. See just how much knowledge you have in gamer trivia.
You know, when I become host, I'm going to make sure I shut you down on your losses.
I mean, I lose, and I think I lose more than both of you guys. And I have to give myself a ribbing.
We can all agree that Joshua is the biggest loser, but he's not losing weight like that.
All right, what do you got for us, sir? You lost. I'm the current champion. Garrett is the plucky challenger.
So, we're doing a cartoon. We're doing a classic cartoon.
How classic we talking?
We talking like we grew up with a nostalgia classic.
Like we grew up when it was airing, or we grew up when it came out?
Like it was both.
Because it's different. I mean, I grew up with the Flintstones. I definitely didn't. I wasn't there when it debuted.
It's Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man 94. Y'all watch the Spider-Man cartoon in the 90s?
Not as much as I would have liked.
I'm gonna say the same thing. I probably didn't watch it enough to win today.
Probably too busy watching X-Men.
I probably watched Spider-Man more than X-Men, but that's not saying much about Spider-Man.
Well, that does say a lot that I didn't choose X-Men.
I wish you would have chosen X-Men.
I bet you would have. All right. Spider-Man 94 trivia. Question number 1. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay. At which point in Peter Parker's life does this series start to focus on? A, in Peter Parker's pre-high school years, or before high school. B, during the high school years. C, during his college years. Or D, post-college. I have Garrett's answer and Johnny Mac's answer. Both of you have chosen C. This was during his college season.
C for college.
And C is for correct. It was during the college years.
C is also for cookie.
But
that's good enough for me.
But he's now a vegan monster, not a cookie monster or
veggie
something.
Monster.
Whatever. Yeah. Cool. So that's correct for both of you guys.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Moving along to question number 2. Which of these villains did not appear in this Spider-Man series? A, Dr. Doom. B, Dormammu. C, Red Skull. Or D, Jackal. I know you guys have some comic book lore, so
you didn't give us like hardly any easy ones in that, but okay. Read it off again.
That's the point. A, Dr. Doom. B, Dormammu. C, Red Skull. D, Jackal. Well, I thought you guys had watched it more than you said you did.
I don't even know who Jackal is.
I have Garrett's answer. And I have Johnny Mac's answer. Garrett said D, Jackal, the person he does not know. Johnny Mac, you said C, the Red Skull was not in this
He for
show?
sure was.
Was he really?
Yes, he was.
Well, is there a Captain America episode?
Yep.
Yeah, so that X's out Johnny's answer, according to Garrett. And the correct answer is actually D. Jackal was not in this show.
You ass.
I'm not the guy that got it wrong. So that's correct for Garrett. Incorrect for Johnny. Score is 2-1 on Garrett. Fun fact. Bear with me here. I'm not good at reading, apparently. To reproduce New York City's appearance, background illustrators did a massive amount of visual research through photo archives of the actual city, particularly from rooftops, to try to faithfully recreate the entire city in that show.
You did it!
I try. I mean...
this is interesting.
Yeah. You want to know what else is interesting? I threw in a fun fact number 2.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Apparently...
You barely got past the first one.
You're going to love this one. Apparently, the Kingpin weighs 350 pounds with 2% body fat.
Wow. That's a big boy.
That's a fun fact. All right. Question number 3. How many punches does Spider-Man throw in this entire TV series? Is it A, 0? Is it B, 3? Is it C, more than 3 but less than 10? So 4 to 9 punches. Or D, 10 or more. It's not like you would really know 100% unless you watched it.
Exactly. Why even ask this question?
There's no way we could know. There's no way we could know the answer.
I've rather made it a question than a fun fact. All right. I have both your answers. You have both chosen A. 0 punches were thrown in this entire show.
I can't actually remember
By
him.
Spider-Man.
By Spider-Man.
Yeah, I
Not by
can't
Peter
actually
Parker,
remember him punching anybody.
By Spider-Man. The correct answer is 3. He throws 3 punches in this entire 4-season show.
What episodes?
I didn't write those down. I did read them though.
All right.
It's not like you would know or remember. Anyway. Okay. So that's incorrect for both of you guys. Don't act like you never threw a random question that we literally knew nothing about.
See, the difference though is that you have the ability to know it by like being a part of the show or the thing. Even if I'd watched the show religiously, I don't think I could have ever known that he only threw 3 punches.
It was an unknown. It was a thing you didn't know.
Right.
Who's counting how many punches Spider-Man throws in the entire series?
How many times did Captain America throw his shield in Avengers Infinity War?
How many steps did Gwen Stacy take?
Well, none of that matters because I'm doing the trivia here, gentlemen. I didn't see anyone crying about the obnoxious... No, we're not even going to go into that. All right. Sudden death. Garrett has 2 points. Johnny has 1. Give me your bets. I have Garrett's bet. I have Johnny's bet. Bonus question. If you get it right, you gain 2 points plus your bet. If you get it wrong, you lose what you bet.
How many ounces does Spider-Man's web fluid carry?
All right. So, there's a special group of six villains. It's not called the Sinister Six. In this show, they call it... What do they call it? Do you know what they call it? It's the Insidious Six. Name me the 6 villains of the Insidious Six. You can't give me more than 6 answers. You will not get deducted for wrong answers.
So this is gonna
but
be
you won't
like,
get a point for each answer you get right.
so we get a point for everyone we get right, and you can only give 6 answers in total.
Yes. I don't want you to give me 10 answers and hopefully you get 6 of them right. So in other words, your bets didn't matter.
God, yeah, he is. That's a troll.
Says the guy last week. It says, we're going to do Price is Right rules. Told you I was going to come up with something this week. The Insidious Six. I will not dock you for spelling as long as I get the general idea.
Okay. If it's someone that I know who he is, and if I can explain who he is without knowing his name, does that count?
No.
Okay.
I need the actual name.
Okay. All right.
Spelling, yeah, if you don't know the name. I was going to say, spelling doesn't count, so just do as best you can.
I appreciate you asking rather than assuming, so that way I don't get the same pushback at the end. Want to give me a few more?
I'm only allowed to give you that many, right?
I only saw... Well, did you give me 6?
You can't read and count.
Oh, no. When Johnny sent me his answers, it listed every single one. When you sent them to me, I only got to see 2. In, the little...
Oh, and the little ticker.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I have both your answers. All right.
Is that what it's called when like the message comes down from the top of your screen, the ticker?
No. It's...
I really don't care what it's called. It's fine.
A ticker is like when you're watching a newscast and it has that scrolling.
Yes.
No, a ticker is
text.
a little creature that explodes if you shoot it.
That's true too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go with Garrett's answers first. You said the Insidious Six comprises of Vulture, Dr. Octopus, Shocker, Electro, Scorpion, Rhino.
I think Rhino was a rough choice, but everything else sounds okay.
Johnny, you said Mysterio, Sandman, Hobgoblin, Dr. Octopus, Vulture, and Shocker.
That sounds more...
So you guys, if I'm trying to do this side by side.
Just do one person and their right answers, and do the next person and their right answers.
Yep.
It's Mysterion! Look at Mysterion! You see Mysterion?
Mysterion!
Everyone say Mysterion! Say again!
We love you, Mysterion! Mysterion was cool, though.
Mysterion was dope.
Good character.
His power was cool, too.
Yeah. Couldn't
All right.
die.
Not for him.
Yeah.
Garrett,
Yeah,
start with you.
Okay.
Vulture, incorrect.
Damn.
Crap.
I took that one out, too. I had someone else, and I
Octopus, Ding, ding, ding. That's 1. Shocker. Ding, ding, ding. That's 2. Electro. Incorrect. Scorpion. Ding, ding, ding.
Good
Correct.
call.
Rhino. Ding, ding, ding. That is also correct.
Wow!
That's 4 out of 6.
Good job.
And then Johnny.
You got it, man. You got it.
Johnny, you also said Dr. Octopus. Shocker. So you got 2 there. Vulture, you said ding, ding, ding's not correct. Mysterio. Ding, ding, ding.
Damn.
That's 3. Sandman.
Dang.
Hobgoblin.
Dang, I got 3. You got 4. You were gonna. I had to get 1 more than you got to tie you.
Yeah, and that last character was Chameleon.
Oh my god. I would have never.
I never got that.
So the score is 4-3 on this one. So Garrett, that puts you to 6 points. Johnny, that puts you to 4 points.
All right, and that's Garrett's W.
Garrett is the Spider-Man.
Spider, swing. Sting.
All right, well,
Trivia
congrats,
king.
sir. All right, well, I'm doing trivia next week. Garrett, good job on your win. I'll see you guys on the other side of the game table.
Thought you were gonna say, Garrett, good luck.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. All right, moving on.
Good luck in the next game.
All right, guys, it is time for our video game spotlight. Garrett, this week's spotlight was yours.
Yes, so gentlemen, I chose Rock Band as our video game spotlight. This was by Harmonix and published by MTV Games back in 2007, so quite some time ago. This game running hot off the heels of the popularity of Guitar Hero, also made by Harmonix. A whole nother story though. But Rock Band brought a whole new kind of version, a whole new kind of experience to the standard, Guitar Hero, sitting at home, playing with the guitar, hitting the blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. You now have access to 3 other instruments, which was very interesting, fun, and I think great for like a party game.
This was the ultimate party game. It made your dorm room or home or wherever you had it the hotspot. It allowed you to have...
Okay, continue.
It allowed you to invite people over, and even if you didn't want to play this game, or even if you didn't know about it, just having it there allowed people to get involved. Hey, what's this? What are you doing? Hey, can I try? Or hey, you should try. And it didn't matter if you were good or bad at the game. It just allowed you to enjoy it with a lot of fun, with family, friends, with drinks, with people that actually knew how to play the game. It was just fun all around. And with the first Rock Band, it introduced a great track list that didn't have, copyright issues. You actually had licensing where you had fully licensed songs versus Guitar Hero in the beginning. You had a bunch of covers and you didn't have the licenses. So you actually got the songs that people knew from when they heard it or when they listened to it.
Yeah, I mean, right away, just the fact that Garrett, that you already discussed and stated that the same company made Rock Band that made its kind of predecessor in Guitar Hero. And I think most people would probably agree that Rock Band ended up being the better series out of the two. So for them to take their idea and then have to part ways with it and then reinvent it and be better than what they made speaks volumes to the series. There's just so many little nuances to it. I mean, ultimately it's a music game. You click some fake buttons to play some music in time, but they really did a good job of making you feel like a rock band when you played that way, but it also worked very well for you to play individually, which I think speaks volumes to a game as well. Like for you to be able to have as much enjoyment with people as without. And you can't really say that about almost any other party game. So that right there is cool. And then nuances for me, like, I don't want to get into too much of it, but I mean, I just love all the small little details. I love in certain tracks, or just, I guess in every track, when you're grooving, like you're just knocking it out and the crowd sings with you.
Yeah. It has a way of making you feel like that rock star. And one thing I really liked about it, to add to the presentation of it, Guitar Hero, you selected avatars pretty much. You selected already created characters with names and little bios, and you were this rock god, or you were the Axl Rose kind of thing. Not exactly Axl Rose, but Rose right. Axl, but with Rock Band, you were able to not only customize what your character wore, but you could change the character to how you look. You can make yourself.
Yeah.
You can be the rock star. So I thought that was really cool, and having the crowd sing along with you or as you play or as you sing kind of just adds to that kind of experience, that kind of presence. And I really do like that. It's funny because playing this game at a party is a whole different experience. Me on guitar and like having my buddy Jeff playing bass or something like that. We do the whole back-to-back kind of rocking out kind of thing. Or when I'm playing drums or whatever, I get into it. It's a really fun game, and it's one of those games where you can just forget, people looking at you and kind of having any shyness or something like that. You can play it at a party with complete strangers. And for me, I was so comfortable and just able to just really rock out. It was fun. It's a fun experience.
You don't even have to talk to anybody to play the game. You can be just the shyest person in the room and you just rock it on the drums. What I like about it is every instrument had a different playing experience. So you can play the guitar, and it was a different experience whether you were with a group of people or by yourself. And then playing the drums is a completely different experience than playing the guitar. Not just because you're playing the instrument, but just the feel and how it's integrated into the actual game. It's different. And even though all the notes that you look at, you have to hit them the same way as far as, it falling down the screen. You have the bar at the bottom, how, if you don't hit the notes, the crowd boos you and you get kicked off stage type of thing. I never did the microphone singing. I never cared to do that for that game, so I don't have that experience. But it was still fun overall, and it allowed you to try different things. And Johnny, you hit it pretty square on the head with Harmonix being able to make two games, make them near flawless one after the other, and then essentially make a trilogy and reinvent the entire franchise, so much that it wasn't even a copyright of what they already did. And then they did it so well that Neversoft didn't do Guitar Hero World Tour, right?
Red Octane took over after Harmonix.
I mean, they try to emulate what Harmonix did with Guitar Hero World Tour, and it didn't
Band
work
Hero.
as well. Well, we don't even need to talk about Band Hero. And other games replicated or tried to replicate what Rock Band did. And then you take it to another notch when Rock Band got exclusive licenses like Rock Band Beatles. And that was a huge thing especially for that particular band that integrated flawlessly into that game.
I actually want to talk about that, is how they were able to not only get the licenses for those, all those kind of rock songs from the 80s, 90s to onward. Now, I mean, Taylor Swift's in there now, but to be able to go and get the licensing for Beatles, how just high grade that band is and how particular they are with their music and their licensing, and to be able to get that and put it into a game where you are now playing as the Beatles. If you're on drums, you're Ringo. If you're on one of the guitars, you're George or Paul. It's fascinating. And I love actually how Rock Band helped me expand my music. I've never heard of a Beatles song. I mean, I might have, but I never really cared to listen to it. But playing Rock Band Beatles opened up my musical taste and just what I appreciated about it. And, even Rock Band, 1, 2, 3, all those bring that music and bring that kind of flavor into it. It's really kind of matured my musical taste.
Yeah, I think that's something that speaks, just a lot about a game that can really enhance your point of view. And so few games do that. I mean, the best games do that. Yes. I mean, we've talked about God of War as a spotlight in the past, and God of War that just came out, several months back, that game does that. It enhances your ideas, your thoughts of what it means to be a dad, or what it means to look back with regret or change yourself going forward. And this game did that. It enhanced what people thought about music, or music genres that they didn't think that they would like. There's some kick-ass music in here that you don't understand is available to you. Like, here you go. And thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, that's crazy to think about as well. The thing that stands out to me the most is that they really put an entire, I mean, they didn't make the genre, I suppose, with, Beat Mania. There were other games that did musical things.
Guitar Freaks is the one I started on.
Guitar Freaks. Yeah. There were other games that were technically the music genre, but it was so niche that it really wasn't even a genre. And Harmonix, more so than Rock Band, but I mean, Rock Band as well, they almost created a genre of gaming. And how often do new genres in gaming pop up?
Well, they made it easily accessible. They made it so you could play it at home.
Right.
Guitar Freaks was at an arcade. I had to, pop into a Howie's or something like that and pop in some quarters to be able to play it.
Right.
They made it so that, plug in this PS2 guitar controller that you can now beat Dark Souls with and play, rock out at home.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it definitely did something different. Like you said, I think, just to touch on that point again with the quarters, playing one song or 3 songs or whatever, and just having infinite amounts of playability is huge. One thing I want to touch on, we talked about a lot of the good, and there was a lot of good, but there was some bad with the genre as well. And I want to point out and just get your thoughts on the controllers, just the oversaturation of plastic controllers that came at you and what that did to the genre.
Yeah. I was thinking those words as soon as you said them out. Oversaturation is probably an understatement to that word, especially since we all worked retail and kind of worked in that industry where it was just, there's so many different types of controllers that came out, so many different variants of the guitars. A new version of the game came out, and then you have a new guitar, and then you have your old guitars, and then you just have like stacks of like plastic in your garage, and half the time they broke because you were partying too hard or kids were just rocking out too much. And I mean, it got pricey, and now it came to a point where, I mean, I'm actually looking over here and I can actually see your Rock Band drum set just chilling over there, and I never knew that was there. Here in the studio, where it exactly brings to my point where there is so much equipment now that you don't have any place to put it, and it just kind of is sitting in storage, taking up space. And it became almost a nuisance where it's just like, I have all this stuff and I don't know what to do with it. It's just pieces everywhere. And if a piece broke, you were screwed. You had to buy a whole nother drum set because you broke a paddle or something.
Yeah.
You broke a leg.
I mean, there used to be an option, albeit not a great one, but like when the next Rock Band came out and you decided to, the first time around you just bought the guitar in game. The next time around, Rock Band 2, I'll buy the band ensemble. I'll get everything. I'll get the guitar, I'll get the drums, I'll get the microphone.
Even the Ion drum set. You spend $100 more for a metal drum set.
But at least back then you were able to, sell the old stuff. You can't do that now. They do not take any of that, and they don't sell any of it either. So, I mean, if you want to play Rock Band now and don't have a drum set, good luck.
Right.
Kind of thing. They've made that difficult, and I think it's because they saw the problem that it was, they being, Harmonix, they saw the problem that oversaturation of all these accessories were, and so, people seeing like storage rooms and of just tons and tons of guitars, they probably didn't want to make that many again. So I think they made less, and that came to, people not being able to get any now.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's just an oversaturation of controllers. It turned into, and this is leading off a little bit into the future of the game, it led to an oversaturation of the genre, where we had Guitar Hero, we had Rock Band, we had Guitar Hero World Tour, which is a spin-off of Rock Band, and then Band Hero, and then the spin-off guitar games, and then you had like Rock Band Volumes whatever, and then now you have all these different companies making the same type of game, each having their own peripheral, where it just completely drained the genre to the point where it literally just died, and no one was interested anymore. And then they tried to bring it back with Guitar Hero Live, and it didn't work, and then they came out with Rock Band 4, and it didn't take off, where this genre is practically doesn't exist in consoles anymore because it came out so quickly and erupted so vastly that within a 5-year time span, it died completely.
Yeah, I think it's a dual thing. I think the first portion that really hurt them was the fact that they did have a lot of controller types and they kept throwing, new controllers or updated controllers that had a little bit different things.
Keyboards or pro drums.
Right. And it was so much. And then the problem was, as much as I think that we all agree that Rock Band was the superior game compared to, the Guitar Hero series, they still had good songs in Guitar Hero. There was still reason to play the game, but you had to have both controllers. That's a problem. I mean, yes, you could use a Guitar Hero, you could use a Guitar Hero controller on Rock Band, but you couldn't use a Rock Band controller on Guitar Hero.
No, you could
so
not.
you had to have both if you wanted to be able to play both, which just means you got to have more plastic stuff in your house. That makes it difficult for you to get the buy-in for both sides. It's more of a challenge, and that should have never happened. And then to your point, Joshua, yeah, it definitely was a problem that there were so many games from both companies at the same time coming out. I mean, it just can't be supported. There's a reason why we don't have a Call of Duty every 3 months. Like it's just we could not deal with it. I mean, as it stands, one could argue that once a year is too often. So that definitely hurt them, I think.
Yeah, to the point where it's literally non-existent anymore.
Right.
You can kind of go through someone's garage, and if you want to pull it out, like, sure, let's go kind of play it, but then you're like, I don't want to clean it.
Yeah, I think the problem, yes, I'm Garrett.
Well, just, I honestly think, and going to the future, I think Harmonix will go again, given enough time. I definitely think we have not seen the end of Rock Band.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will come back at some point. I guess we'll move into the segment of where they go from here. They will move forward, Harmonix or someone else with the music genre. It's not dead. I mean, music it transcends language. It transcends cultures.
It's eternal.
Yeah, exactly. It transcends, regions or where people live, location, geographics. It's a game, honestly, that someone could play and never have learned English or never have learned Spanish or whatever. You could just play this game and not have to worry about any of that stuff. It's music, and music's understood worldwide. So there definitely is room for this. I would love to see it come back.
If it's going to come back, it'll come back probably in a VR iteration.
There's definitely a possibility. The thing that I look at too, and it makes me sad, and I know Garrett, you can definitely relate to this, is that I feel like Guitar Hero and Rock Band got into a war of trying to outdo each other, and so they kept releasing more content faster. And Rock Band fixed the situation pretty quickly in that you were able to pretty much transport most of the old songs from one disc to your hard drive to be playable on the next number 2 or number 3. But Guitar Hero didn't do that. Either way, though, you just had tons of discs, and it made it difficult to really know, okay, I want to play these songs. Where's that at? Which disc is this on?
Yeah.
That made it an issue. But I think Rock Band had the right idea because they kept trying to expand what you could do previously. And my referencing this is with DJ Hero, which is an offshoot kind of Rock Band. Was that?
That was Activision. It was.
That was Activision.
Yes.
Off of Guitar Hero.
Okay, well, let me flip my point then. There was more to expand. And DJ Hero and games like that were options where it wasn't about drums or guitars. It was another type of way to make music.
Yeah.
And
very enjoyable.
Yeah, it was a great game. And I liked the fact that they were exploring new options to give people different types of music. And that died because they had thrown us so much other stuff.
Yeah, I can't explain what exactly happened to DJ Hero because the first one came out and was a hit. The second one came out and maybe it just came out too soon.
Yeah, it came out like a year later.
And I think that's the last we heard of DJ Hero. That killed it.
Well, not only that, like you had when you bought it, I think it came with 2 turntables or a turntable and 2 microphones. So you had to spend
like
$120 for a kit when you couldn't just use your old one because it just came with 2 new ones and Rock Band came out with a keyboard at that time for Rock Band 3. Now you have just all these extra peripherals and the genre was just fading off because it was just too much.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Rock Band, Guitar Hero, we'll see you soon at some point. I think as we all said that it will come back at some point. It definitely was beloved. And Rock Band was something special.
Yeah. To this day, they're still supporting it. They're still coming out with new content and new songs. So
that's cool.
There's still a love for it, and I would like to see it in the future.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, that's our video game spotlight. All right, guys. It is time for the speed run. Every week, we break down 7 news stories and facts that just didn't make it for a full segment. We give ourselves 1 minute per topic before we move on to the next one. Finished or not? Gotta go fast. In the speed run. Sin City creator Frank Miller has regained his TV and movie rights to his hit comic Sin City. Will we see another iteration of his dark graphic novel on the small or big screen? We definitely will. I'm not sure if you guys have had, I'm pretty sure you haven't, but have you guys read the actual graphic novels?
Nope. Read? No. I've seen the movie.
There's a lot of content that's really not in the movies that you could definitely pull from, and maybe even some stuff that he can redo. It's rife for another movie, a better movie than the second one.
Personally, I think this would be great as a TV series.
That's a good point.
I think this would be really good, like on like HBO, Cinemax, that kind of thing where you can be a little more risque with it. It's Sin City, like it's in the name.
Yeah,
it's got to be. It's got to be hardcore.
Well, not only that, you can make it where you're not trying to leave stuff out because you're trying to force it within the 2 hours or under cut.
Yeah,
they're very true.
I think next. Lucasfilms announced the cast for Episode 9 and also announced that Carrie Fisher will be returning to the saga with unused footage taken from Episode 7. If you would like more information on this, please turn back to earlier this episode.
So I didn't look up the cast. Have they announced the cast, or did they just say they've chosen the cast?
No, they've announced who's going to be in it.
I've actually heard something, because when I see this kind of stuff, I don't want to read it. I don't want to read who's been cast or as who. But I did read something from a completely separate topic or a separate page or whatever, and I read something that I would have rather not known.
Sorry to hear that.
I don't know what you're referring to, so...
Thanks, Deadpool.
Still don't know, but...
Yeah. I this doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't make me happier or sadder or anything. But I think I'd rather not know. Just especially because I'd like to be surprised at someone popping up who I didn't expect. Actually, there's a character I would have liked to not know who's going to be in this movie, but yeah, it happens.
Do you know?
I know he's in the movie. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Surprise for me.
Next.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg lost nearly $16 billion with a B dollars as Facebook stocks plummeted by 19% in a single day.
That's a big number.
It's a big number. What's funny is that was his, I think, personal loss, not the company loss, which was, I think, 3 times that. But the funny thing about this is that they had posted for their third quarter their third quarter projections for how much they made were lower than expectations. However, they still made $13 billion.
More than the previous year.
Yeah, more than the previous year. So they still made more money than last year, just not as much more than they thought they were going to make.
Jeez.
So their shareholders are dicks.
How does Facebook even make money?
Advertising.
Ads. Duh.
And not as much games anymore. But yeah, that's I mean, how much money does this guy have where you lose 19% of your, or 19% of stocks or shareholders or whatever, and you lose $16 billion?
Personally.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of money.
But your company made more money.
Take his ass to court.
Yeah, right?
Again.
Ask him dumb questions that he's trying to explain.
Next.
Amazon is currently taking pre-orders for the Nintendo Switch online service. Amazon will email the product codes once the service launches. This is stupid.
This almost made my worst list.
Wait, what?
So essentially, for the Nintendo online service, you can pre-order a code from Amazon, and then they will distribute the code once the service goes live. Why?
But you could just get the code when the service goes live.
It makes no sense.
You don't have to pre-order it at all.
Yes, exactly. They're just taking people's money and hope they forget. I don't know.
Well, they won't forget. The thing that sucks is that they're getting a cut out of this. That's what it's about. It's about Amazon getting a cut.
You don't pre-order PlayStation Network. You don't pre-order Xbox Live.
I'm gonna pre-order my Netflix account for next month. Like,
Garrett's gonna pre-order that new AMC program.
It just
this doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
But
Amazon just getting money.
But they had to have had partnership with Nintendo in order to get this done.
Right.
So because Amazon's the biggest market, like Nintendo's like, yeah, we'll bring some people over.
But Nintendo could just do it themselves and make all the money.
They could, but they want
you win. You make all the money.
I don't know. I think this is really dumb.
People will pre-order anything.
Next. The Detective Pikachu movie will now be distributed by Warner Brothers rather than Universal. This is due to the fact that Legendary Pictures' deal with Universal has ended and will not renew that partnership at this time. I don't care.
Dang.
I don't have any interest in the Detective Pikachu movie. I don't want to see a movie with a talking Pikachu. I didn't watch...
Voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
I didn't watch the Pikachu movie, First Meet Ash or whatever. I Choose You. No, where he talks like... what was it, John? You remember? We didn't watch the movie, but it was that stupid scene where it's like... It's because I love you. I love you.
He said something like that. Because I love you.
No.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I don't care about this movie at all.
I don't care about the movie. I don't care about the game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's nice that Warner Brothers is reaching out, and they have a partnership now with Legendary, which can branch off into other movies that Legendary is doing.
Who left this footprint?
Detective Pikachu in Saw 800.
Yikes.
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah. So this is good for Warner Brothers.
Next. He was in the safe.
Who's Pikachu? Game developer Epic Games, their net worth has increased from $5 billion to $8 billion in this last year, primarily thanks to a little game called Fortnite. You know how great they must feel right now?
Well, I mean, they're selling digital clothing and making more money than like the Gap.
Make Gears 5 great. Do it.
But they don't even make Gears anymore.
No, Epic's doing it.
I don't think Epic works on Gears of War anymore.
No, they do.
No, they do.
They do.
I mean, you had Rob Ferguson, whatever. Fergie. He was up there at E3. Yeah, so yeah.
What I find the funniest thing is, okay, Cliffy B leaves this company.
He goes bye-bye.
Epic Games makes Fortnite. He goes off to make Boss Key Studios, I believe it was called. They make their own version, Radical Heights.
Yeah, and then they had Lawbreakers before that.
And but that was a hero shooter. That wasn't a battle royale.
Yeah, but
and then that shuts down, and Epic Games couldn't be doing better. They're making so much more money. Next,
they are.
I'm gonna audible this one, guys, just so you know. The streaming giant Netflix has acquired the rights to the movie Mowgli from Warner Brothers. It was set to release October 19th and will now release specifically and exclusively on Netflix sometime in 2019.
Dang.
That is something. To take a movie from the theaters and put it straight up on and just stream it.
Well, remember, this did happen once already, at least that we know of.
The Paradox?
Yeah, with Cloverfield Paradox.
Was that set to go to the theaters?
It was set to go to theaters. It wasn't the same way where it was already getting marketed to theaters, but it was made for theaters.
Wow, that's something.
This, honestly, I think is going to possibly at some point be a main topic, because that is big for Netflix to literally take movies from theater. Take it from the mouth of the theater. You ain't eating today.
We eating good today.
I mean, imagine... Wow, that is crazy. Is it still going to be in theaters?
It will not.
Exclusive, right?
Yeah, so I saw this news, and I was at the theaters today, and they still had Mowgli posters up. Like, this...
Gotta take them down.
The movie was supposed to come out
soon for false advertising.
Right?
I mean, with the Papa John's still on the poster, but I mean, eventually, my point being is eventually you're gonna have to remove those posters because it doesn't coincide with what's going to happen in the future.
Could this become more frequent?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, I do.
End of theaters.
So I don't want that to happen, though. Oh,
no
man.
wonder Movie Pass is going in.
Right? No one's going to theaters. Everybody's watching Netflix.
Netflix.
It's not that Movie Pass is doing bad. It's that Netflix is doing better. Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, that's our speed run. All right, guys, it is time for Name the Game. 3 games, 2 hosts, and clues that lead to the one correct answer. Use your wits, match the clues, name the game. All right, well, I went down last week. I almost got skunked, but I came through. I got one.
Gary didn't want to throw the guess. He almost had it.
I don't know. It's debatable. Debatable. But it's my turn to give you guys some stuff.
Yeah.
So
Won by a touchdown, Moody.
Good luck, gentlemen. I hope both of you do well, but of course only one of you can win. So
We're gonna just eventually start
2 men in her.
research.
all right, here we go.
We don't know if they leave.
Your chance to hear the good word and play it too.
The Bible game.
That's correct.
Wow.
You had it. You were trying to struggle for you. So the Bible game from PS2.
I was like, is he really going there? Well, that's also going back to the NES.
I don't know that. I just was on PS2.
He's like the good word. I was like, no, he couldn't be doing that.
Next game. This game was a GTA clone if ever there was one.
Saints Row.
No.
I almost was going to put that. A GTA clone. Destroy all humans.
No. Steal cars, brawl, drink, and give people cement shoes and take them swimming.
Mafia.
No.
Cement shoes. Sleeping dogs.
No.
I don't know.
And maybe put horse heads in people's beds.
Godfather.
That's correct.
No.
The Godfather.
Never played it.
Yeah, I've
Never
seen
watched
the
the
movie.
movie. Never watched it.
It's pretty. I mean, there's more fighting and like the camera's different, but it just grabs that.
It's a cinematic game.
Yeah. All right, that's a one for Garrett. I need to give you your bell, Garrett. You earned that. So there's your bell.
Hope I got a bell.
You did get a bell,
Okay,
sir.
cool.
All right. A game that lets you make a game.
RPG Maker.
That's correct. Wow. I did not expect for you to get that easily.
I was thinking the name and I was like, I know what it is.
I mean, there's a lot of games that you can make games with. Super Mario Maker, Sim City.
Well, those you're not making games. You're making levels. RPG Maker, you literally make.
Yeah, you make a game.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Thank you. I did enjoy RPG Maker.
so Garrett, yeah, you took that one from behind. It's not often that someone gets the come from behind victory and name the game. It's really hard to do.
It is.
So
It is. I thought I was going to get skunked.
yeah. Congrats, man.
I get one. He's like, I'm gonna get skunked.
That's
Shit.
how I feel too. I'm like, well, this is only a hop skip away from skunk.
Especially after I said Saints Row. I was like, nope. I just nothing. I gave it to Joshua.
All right. Well, congrats, sir. All right, cool. Well, we are moving into the end of the show. At the end of the show, we always talk about what's going on with us outside the world of the podcast, what we've been playing, what we've been doing, and of course, give each other
Superpowers.
stupid superpowers for 1 week only, for better or worse. Am I starting? You normally start.
We rotate.
All right.
We'll figure it out.
I guess
Garrett's never started before. I don't think.
I'll start. My week was
He's like, nope, I'll
it
start.
was a really fun one. I got my family back. They'd been in New Mexico for 15 days.
How many people did you have to kill?
I'll find you. I don't know who you are or where you are. I have a particular set of skills. I can podcast. Yeah, my family came home, so it was really nice seeing my son and my wife again. And my wife got a baby in the oven, in the bun in the oven. So just getting them back was nice. Great thing coming back the next day because she's a school teacher, so she was out of school, of course, for summer vacation. Came home and opened the door and just hot cooked meal coming through, wafting like, man, like my woman's cooking some food. I've been living off bread and water and whatever I can scrounge up, fighting the roaches for whatever's left. That was really nice.
Eating outside with the dogs.
Yep, kibble. Still playing Octopath Traveler. I am enjoying it, but haven't really had a lot of time to hop back into it. I'm really excited for Magic the Gathering. Core Set 2019 came out. There's some cool commanders, some cool new cards. And then they have Commander 2018 coming out. So I'm really excited for those sets because that's the Commander staples. As most people in the community call it. This is Commander Christmas coming up right now in about a week. So I'm excited for that. I ended up watching Jurassic World.
Ooh.
I regret watching Jurassic World.
Damn.
I did not like it that much. I actually fell asleep for bits of it. Not that it was a bad movie in the plot or anything, although there's holes. I do look for those. But more so because, like, I've said it before, what else can you do, man? Like, you can only do so much. And for me, I don't get off on that. But I do know, like my wife talked about it, some people enjoy the thrill of it. Just, even though they've seen it before, they enjoy the thrill or the terror or the screams or just seeing the dinosaurs. It's just not for me.
There's a lot of dinosaurs.
And I imagine based on the looks on your faces, it's not for you two gentlemen either.
I haven't seen the movie. Joshua, I believe you quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I said I liked it.
I could have passed.
I still haven't seen it.
I give it a low 7.
It means that's not saying much.
I still liked it.
Since you won't rate anything below a 5,
because when's the last movie you saw that was less than a 5?
My point is, pretty much that you gave it a 2 is pretty much what you gave it.
No, I gave it a 7.
All right. And then I also watched The Equalizer 2.
Ooh.
I enjoyed that film. It was actually better than the first movie. It was much more enjoyable. The stakes were a little bit higher. The fights were pretty vicious. So yeah, pretty good week for me. Also went to the beach. Saw Snoop Dogg. Literally camped at the beach right next to me. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Docked him. Did you tell him what's up, dog?
No, we were going to play music. We had a big speaker. We were going to play Snoop Dogg's music. We thought that's kind of mean.
Yeah, don't do that.
Drop it like it's hot.
But we should have done that and just like walked back. Yeah, but it was a really good week. You know, my family coming back, spending time with them, going to movies and the beach and stuff. So, yeah, had a lot of fun. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you, Joshua.
It's only fair.
Yep.
All right. For you.
All right.
For you, Johnny.
Here's your power. So, whenever you say something, you know, sometimes, you know, just being Joshua, at times, you have the chance to put your foot in your mouth. Every now and again. It happens. Or you just say something like, what are you talking about, Joshua? You can rewind, not action, not anything besides like your own speech and what people remember for 2 seconds. So like something comes out of your mouth and you're like, oh snap, I should have probably thought that through better. Or like you can tell like the response that you're getting is not the one you wanted. You can just kind of like, and like they'll forget you said anything. You can rephrase what you're trying to say. Just yeah, no, so I wanted fries with that and pickle on the side, but not in the burger like that, you know? So, yeah.
That's a power. Thanks, Johnny.
You jerk!
So my week.
Hey, girl, you want to go out? No.
Just rewind it again. How was your day, Sally?
Thank you, sir. You got a real kick out of that. So my week, I am ready for Evo. I am ready to go to Vegas where it's a lot hotter than it is right now.
Yep.
I'm ready to go stay indoors all day where there's air conditioning.
Unless it breaks.
Yeah, I'll now go into another room or something.
Can I interject something really quick? Sorry. So at Six Flags like 2 weeks ago, and we were in line talking about how hot it was like 105, and my cousin lives in Vegas. And we're talking about, man, it's so much hotter there. People can't live without AC. And I said, well, they must have at some point, like in the 1940s and 50s, because Vegas was a thing, and there's no ACs back then. They were just sweating, dying. And some idiot next to us was like, well, I mean, bro, remember global warming, like, it was probably 25 to 30 degrees, you know, cooler. You idiot. Like, that's not how bad. If global warming was like 30 degrees more, we would be dead. You idiot. Sorry.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. It was,
30?
Not that extent, but I mean, global warming
like,
probably had some.
Like 5 degrees. Like 5 degrees has made a huge change. And that's about what it is, about 5 degrees, which is still hot.
That means they were suffering at 80 degrees.
Yes, 80. You dummy.
Okay, I will allow that interjection.
Go ahead.
That was a good point. So yeah, I'm ready for Evo. Unfortunately, the way the brackets worked out, I'm not going to be able to participate in Smash Brothers because I'm carpooling with a friend of mine who can't go early because he has to work. So I'm sacrificing my tournament time and saving a bit of money by not going by myself to wait an extra day to go up on Friday.
That sounds like your ex-friend can't go on Friday.
Well, since you're both my ex-friends because you couldn't go. No.
Wow.
So I might barely make it for the Street Fighter one, so I don't know. But I'm disappointed because I really wanted to see where I was in Smash.
You probably still have time to make it in the Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, I might make that side turning if they have one. So you never know. But I am looking forward to the competition this year. I am looking forward to see, if anyone else is going to take out Sonic Fox or Dagura or...
Dude, that guy is that his thing now? Like, is he always battling now in full suit?
Who, Sonic Fox?
Yeah.
I think he picks and chooses. If you haven't seen Johnny, Sonic Fox literally wears like a full costume.
Furry.
Like outfit. Like head to toe, helmet, fur outfit, like legs.
Because like I've always seen him,
It's like a Disney
standard.
character.
I've always seen level 1 Sonic Fox,
Just
with the ears.
Yep.
Yeah, the ears and the tail. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's his thing. And then just one day completely it's fine. It's cool. No, I got no problems with it. But it was just surprising to see. Like he's a full suit. He's playing in that thing. He can see through it. And he's still mopping fools.
Yeah.
I think he does take the gloves off.
Yeah, and then Goichi is he's probably the number one DBZ Fighters player in the world. And it's just those top 3. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like in a high-end tournament as well as the other games. So that's this week. I've been playing a lot of Octopath Traveler. I'm now 35-ish hours in, when last week I was at 10. So I like where the game is at. There's a couple of things that I don't like about it. I do like how the difficulty scales when you're going to different areas, and when you go back to areas after getting other characters in the beginning, the difficulty does go up. But what I don't like is, it gives you the option to explore, and you'll run into other areas that are too strong for you. But when you do those areas, like I'm in an area where I can do level 45, level 50 areas, my characters are like low 40s. But then when I go back to the storyline, it's like level 20. And that part doesn't scale. But everything else around you scales. So it's kind of weird, and some other stuff I don't like. But overall, I love the game and just the context, and the stories are getting a little bit better. So I'm looking forward to seeing if the stories actually intertwine towards the back end. So it looks like I'm probably halfway in the game. I don't even know. There's still quite a bit to do in this game. Looking forward to it.
Sweet.
I don't have anything else. So, Garrett, I already have your stupid power.
All right.
So we are hot in the studio right now. It's been hot here in California. So you have the ability, no matter where you are, if you're hot and you sweating and you just need to cool off, instant ice cold bottle of water at any point in time. Or if you need an ice cold beverage, Gatorade, beer. If I wouldn't recommend drinking beer on like a, dehydrated type of day, but you can snap in an ice cold beverage at any point in time.
What if I want a hot beverage?
Joshua doesn't do.
I don't like hot beverages though.
I wasn't going to reply because that's kind of I don't even know if that's an inside joke. That's just a thing that happened that I get made fun for.
I like hot beverages. You want hot chocolate, Joshua? No. You want tea, coffee? I don't drink those. You want some boiling hot water?
What hot beverage do you drink? You don't drink one.
But I like them.
Reaction. Yeah, when I come up with one I like, I'll tell you. So that's what you got. If you want a hot beverage, just put it in the microwave.
Okay. So I can only do cold beverages, I guess, as well. Okay.
Yep, could be a bottle, could be a glass.
No, it's beer. You gave me the power to make beer.
Okay.
That's all. That's
what kind of beer?
I'm a Budweiser guy.
Okay. You're a weirdo, but okay.
I'm not a Foster's. I don't think anyone's a Foster's. Australians aren't even Foster's. All right. So checked out this movie called The Raid 2. Sorry, the American name is Dread. I watched Dread.
The Raid 2?
Yeah, you should watch The Raid 2.
That's a different movie.
It's Dread.
I have not seen
Rather Dread is The Raid 2.
Interesting fact, Jim. So actually, The Raid, it's pretty most likely true that they very heavily borrowed the script from Judge Dredd while it was in production, which is why
Dredd.
Huh?
Just Dredd. Judge Dredd's a different movie.
Okay, well, Dredd. Sorry,
yeah. Okay.
The one with Carl Urban.
Okay, Dredd.
They took the script and just pretty much just blatantly ripped it. I don't know how they got a hold of it, but they did. That's why the movies are so similar. So The Raid is almost literally the same plot as Dread.
Just less futuristic stuff.
Yeah, go into a big towering building.
You get locked in.
You get locked in, scale it.
Spoiler alert, bro.
Try to get the thing on the top. We said spoiler in the beginning.
Yes, Joshua.
How'd you like it?
I watched Dread.
Yes.
You were kind enough to let me borrow it.
Yes. I'm glad you took
I
it
watched
upon
it.
yourself to watch it, even though you...
yeah. Is it cool when you let friends borrow stuff that you want them to watch and then...
It is.
And then they watch it?
Yeah, it's much easier when you give someone like an hour and a half movie versus like a 3 part series that's like 200 episodes.
An episode a week. It's been 3 weeks, Joshua. Don't give me that.
I can give you one out.
How was the movie?
So, I
said it was
did.
great.
I enjoyed Dread quite a bit. There was one thing I noticed that, Johnny, you would probably... I don't know if you like or not too much. You know how when you watch a movie and they're in like power suits and stuff and you have big name actors, actresses, and you know, they always take the helmet off. You know, you got to pay the actor wants his face to be seen or whatever. There is a psychic girl who's a rookie in this movie, and Dredd's wearing his helmet. And one thing I read about is that Carl Urban refused to take his helmet off for this movie to stay true to the character.
Nice.
So I thought that was cool. But so they go into a hot spot, and she doesn't have the helmet. He's like, why aren't you wearing the helmet? Oh, the helmet might interfere with my psychic powers. And I'm like, okay, that's actually I mean, if you need a reason to not wear the helmet and show the pretty girl or whatever, then okay, that's one. Dredd, you know, goes, a bullet would also interfere with your psychic powers. So that was cool. Then they called out on that. I gotta say though, as much as I like Dredd and Judge Dredd, I'm not completely sold on Carl Urban as Dredd. He had the scowl. I really like that. Like you could tell whenever his face is on screen, he scowl, he's mad or whatever. It like, and that I like. That's what I think Dredd should be or whatever. But I don't feel that Carl Urban was like, I'm going to say this because it's a comic, bulky enough. I don't think he was bulky enough for it. I think Vin Diesel would have been a good pick, personally.
The man can't act out of a paper bag.
But, I mean, Dredd doesn't really do much. He doesn't have emotions.
Yeah.
That's actually a plot point.
Okay.
He has sad emotions.
I mean, just Vin Diesel has the range that could fit on a pen. Like,
All he has to do is scowl and say a couple of
He
words.
says a lot more than a couple words.
Hot shot.
Hi, X.
I thought Carl Urban did a fantastic job.
I'm not saying bad. He didn't do bad. Just, I think there were better options, personally.
I liked him in that role.
Okay.
I mean, did better than Doom.
Yeah.
And
That's
whatever other
not.
movies you wanna throw
So
in there.
after I watched Dredd, I then decided to watch Judge Dredd. Infinitely better. I still think that Judge Dredd, Sylvester Stallone, and all that. I think that movie is plays Dredd so much better. I think I was actually kind of sad that Sly didn't show up as like a cameo, as just random person, maybe Chief or whatever.
Random judge.
Yeah, but I like Sly's Dredd a lot more. But both movies very enjoyable. Dropped Octopath. It's not for me.
Yeah, we heard.
Hyrule Warriors did come in though, so I've been playing that. Been playing Hyrule Warriors. I've never really been in the Dynasty Warriors movies. Hell, I've never been in Destiny either. But Hyrule Warriors is pretty fun. A lot of the content in that game on the Switch.
Oh yeah, you got like every DLC that came out.
It's there. You have to unlock it, but like that's kind of fun actually. Remember when you have to unlock characters and weapons and stuff?
Remember when you had to play the game to unlock the game?
Back in my day, you started out with 6 characters.
You remember? I remember.
So Hyrule Warriors is fun. I'm really just waiting for Dead Cells to come out. That's the next game
It's still
I'm
not out
waiting
yet?
for. Not till next week.
You know, Chasm comes out next week.
Is that PlayStation exclusive?
It's PlayStation and I think Steam, which is sad.
So
news.
it's
not on
PlayStation.
Xbox.
It's PlayStation exclusive to me. So then, yeah, I'll probably be picking that up too. And I think that's about it. Oh, Overwatch. Overwatch came out. Well, it's been out. Wrecking Ball came out. New hamster character. He is fun. I haven't quite got my head wrapped around him. There's a lot of utility to him. Moving around in levels is a lot of fun. being able to grapple and just go over chasms and gaps and all that kind of stuff. He does have a lot of utility if you can figure out his maneuverability. So he's pretty cool. Lots of fun. And I think that's about it. I watched Dreads, multiples of them, Hyrule Warriors, and Overwatch. And that is me. Johnny, your superpower.
What's going to happen?
Most people... Okay, so last week I gave you a power that I didn't know was already a power in another media.
Right. Psychic paper.
This power I do know is in another media, but I don't think a lot of people will know about it. So, you have a power that you can't quite control. And it
Phoenix
kind of,
Force?
No.
Dang.
You I would never. The ramifications would be...
I would hope you never. We will all die.
But there is a power that you can't control that whenever you get either agitated or frustrated or it's more like a panic, anxiety attack, you just disappear.
Oh, bro.
You disappear and no one, it's not like you're invisible. It's like you're gone. You've been erased from this realm. But you come back. And it turns out that you time travel.
Okay. I mean, I know what you're doing there.
You can't control where you're time traveling. You can't control when you'll come back.
Is that from that podcast?
It is.
Okay. I don't remember the name.
The Bright Sessions.
Yes.
There you go.
You still listening to that?
No. I dropped it after season 2 or something like that.
Yeah,
After Damien left, and I'm done.
It started getting bad.
Yeah, but
Getting bad.
before then, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
I was like, I feel like I know this. I listened to like 2 or 3 episodes.
all right. Well, I mean, that's fine because I mean, at some point I will go back in time and I will get some information that I can utilize in the future to take over the world, or I can do something in the past to really benefit myself in the future because I'm going back at some point. So, all right. Thank you.
Unless you die in the past.
Well, I can't because I'm incorporeal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that part.
So unless you go to the future and then you come back to the past.
She cannot go back to the future. She only goes. She can't go to the
She
future. She only goes to the past and then back to her present.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, thanks, man. I'll be ruling the world in a short time.
Don't forget about the podcast.
Just remember who gave you that power. All right, hook me up.
Well, he has it for a week, so,
Yeah.
get him.
All right, guys. Well, that is the show. Hopefully you enjoyed. Before we get out of here, guys, you can help out the show if you'd like to. We'd love you to in a couple of ways. Leave a review. Leave us some stars wherever you're listening to the podcast. Drop on over there. Click that little button. Rate us. Say some awesome things like Johnny's super cool and Garrett's super funny. And man, Joshua's the best Joshua that I've ever heard of. And, then we're good. We're good. We'd love that, guys.
I see what you did there. You can say Joshua's cool and funny and the best Joshua.
Oh, man. And then, guys, of course, if you got friends, family that, you think, coworkers, whoever that would love the show, hit them up, let them know about the Super Co-op Squad, put them up on game, and, maybe they'd enjoy us. And we would really appreciate that because those kind of referrals, references, just those are the biggest ones, guys. And lastly, if you guys would like to go ahead and chat with us, please do so on Twitter at SuperCoop Squad or by email contact@scspodcast.net. And if you want to chat with us individually, one-on-one, you can do so as well. You can find myself at JohnnyMac24.
You can find me at GJL3275.
And you can find me at Eternal Red Gamer.
Cool. As always, guys, hopefully you had a good time. We'll see you next week. I'm Johnny Mac.
I'm Garrett.
I'm the best Joshua. So to reproduce New York City's appearance, background illustrators did a massive amount of
Come on. This is why Johnny doesn't do fun facts.